Hello, my pleasure to come your way today in this wonderful edition of You and Your Health. As a matter of fact, this is one episode I will encourage you, even when I'm done, copy it and keep it somewhere and go back again whenever you want to make a decision with respect to traveling outside the country for medical treatment, or your loved one or your friend suggesting to you, I just want to travel abroad for medical treatment. Now, I stand to tell you the risk, as a matter of fact, the consequences was still if you being a black traveling outside the country to be in position to have your health check or health care. Please, I know you have your money. Oh, come on. I know that you nothing works in Nigeria. It's a very miserable place. Yes, we will not undermine the fact that we are still upcoming when it has to do with healthcare delivery. Nevertheless, it is important for you to know there are things that are available most beneficial to you when it has to do intervention in your health, the health of your loved ones. And that's why I want to say that today is a day we will never forget. Pause with your money. Pause with what you think you know about what is happening in the United States, about what is happening in UK, or you going to India. Can I be of help to you and advise you where you should say yes and where you should say no? This is important time for us, as our custom is, to invite all our friends, to invite all our loved ones, our family members to be part of this particular program, as we're going to review something quite striking when it has to do with you intending to go abroad for spine surgery, for kidney transplant, for heart-related issue, for fibroid, and so many things. I will today return your money back to your pocket simply because of the knowledge you will get today. Please call them as I will be right back.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye, now on TVC News every Sunday by 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back. It is easy for any one of us to say, oh, nothing is working in Nigerian healthcare. And painfully, majority of us even saying such, I've just gone abroad to go and do my health check. There are same people, one time or the other, in the name of government, giving opportunity to improve things in that same sector. That is not our topic for today. But with your money, with what you think you know, and the pride of being that you have just gone to US, I've just gone to UK, I've just gone to India for my health check, my dear, can you keep the money? Many of our loved ones have suffered simply because medical tourism turned to become a merchant and a business dimension. Before we end this very meeting, I will tell you why it is dangerous for you to leave your country and travel to a certain other country and go there to do certain medical treatment of whatever complexity. There you will get to know it may not be to your advantage when you leave your country to some other one based on certain medical factors I will explain to you before this very meeting is over.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. Now, action time. We are going to look at a number of cases or conditions a person may have. Yes, it's not a bad thing for you to plan to travel out of the country, but I want to put a clause. I want to help you to see the hidden clauses and also to know why you should seek certain professional guidance before you will be able to go. A lot of our people have suffered so much. We say we are suffering here. Even when you go abroad, we also become victim of things that we do not know. Only that some of us will get there and just be saying it's only if you get to that very place. It is not only if you get to that place. There are deeper things concerning that your health matter you need to know. And that's number one is that let's look at the problem that has to do with the heart. If you are to travel abroad for anything that has to do with cardiac intervention, please, I want you to know this. Number one is that when it has to do with emergencies, like somebody having a heart attack, it's so painful that one of the staff of a notable oil company here happened to have a heart attack. And in effort, maybe, whatever be the reason, is to fly this very fellow to France. Unfortunately, he died inside the aircraft. How could that be said to be so? It ought not to be so because there are, for such intervention, any hospital with a cath lab should be able to save the life of such person. But our narrative, nothing was, or a business dimension taking priority over saving the life of such individual. And today, a cath lab in Nigeria should be able to save such one from such danger. But in a number of occasions, we abandon it with the mentality, no, abroad is the option. But we must have the empathy that saving life is the most fundamental. Other things can follow thereafter. Nevertheless, apart from an emergency, when somebody has something like heart failure, and heart failure comes in different degrees. Heart failure is the one that makes a person get so tired easily. He breathes very fast. He couldn't be able to sleep. If he sleep, it's as if he's choking, the leg got swollen. We have talked about that here. And that individual may require a pacemaker, particularly when the heart pumping capacity is very low. So the person may not be able to cope with life. That person will require what is called pacemaker. Now I tell you something. Across the globe, I've seen a number of people travel to UK, to US, to India to go and put up a pacemaker and come back. Welcome. But I will add to you, in case you have not gone, or even if you have one, this particular pacemaker you see, the pacemaker is what helps the heart to be in position to be contracting when it is already weak. But these pacemakers are produced by different companies across the globe. Over here in the United States, you have a number of companies, good one. You have, yes, the Boston Scientific is there. The St. Jude pacemaker manufacturers are there also. You have the Medtronic and also you have Biotronic and a number of other ones. But these ones are majorly used across the globe. Over there in UK, you also have the same company. Also in India, you have those different companies. But permit me to tell you that in UK today, you have a number of hospitals in that place. And this very hospital may have their own choice of this very pacemaker. And maybe you travel from here and go over to any of those hospitals and they put a pacemaker of their own trade relationship. One thing is this. Over the time of using a pacemaker, there is what is called interrogation of that pacemaker. Maybe along the line, it's just something like causes electrical activity. All of a sudden, it's not performing as it ought to do. There is somebody that should be able to say, let us be able to look at it and know why is it malfunctioning or otherwise. And you know the implication? The implication is that that interrogation is dependent on the technology of that particular manufacturing company. It is not an open source. So whether you say what works for this one, works for this one. Now in Nigeria, I want to make it very open to us. The only company in Nigeria currently that has their own what you could describe as a servicing company or where you can do interrogation of pacemaker is only Medtronic. St. Jude is actually trying to come on board, but still scientific, the issue of Biotronic, they don't have any representation in Nigeria. Then you will not travel. No, they want to pull. My dear, This call for you to be able to contact your doctor locally and say to him, they want to use this particular product for me. Is there anywhere where if there's a problem, I could be able to handle it here? You know what? Majority of the people that died, when in fact, one died during COVID, which is very painful, went around and what he was carrying was St. Jude as of then, and nowhere to get it interrogated. And after a while, that very woman, the children happened to be in the United States. And that's why for you to travel, please seek for professional advice. I'm going for this very procedure. What do you think that could be able to help me? Also, your doctor talking to a doctor the other side gives some sort of security to you because they will talk in their own language, which you have less understanding about. That's why I say today, please, as we're going to look into a number on it, never travel abroad. Say you are going for spine surgery, you are going for kidney transplant, you are going for fibroid operation. Please pause until we are done today. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
My name is Mr. Taiwo Moses. I'm from Lagos. The health challenges I was facing before I came here was I had heart problem. My arteries, the 3 arteries were blocked. So I need a solution to that. Since I had that, before I even came here, I could not breathe well. I cannot, a floor staircase, if I climb a floor, I will be panting. So they took me to the theater and I met all the doctors, the team of doctors that performed the operation. The operation was a success. Even after the operation, I've gone downstairs through staircase now and I've come up. So you can see the big difference. All the pains in the chest are gone. My message to people that are solving this type of my problem, this having heart issues, is that is solution. And these are things that can be done in Nigeria, and it's being done in Nigeria. My special thanks go to Dr. Save a Life Foundation for their support and for the laudable work they are doing.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye, now on TVC News every Sunday by 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back. We are still on You and Your Health. I remain your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye, and today we are looking at something beyond what you know, beyond what your money can offer you. And that has to do with what our people have become like a custom. No, I want to travel abroad for this. I want you to pause. I can save money for you just by reason of understanding you will have today. We are looking at the subject of the risk, consequences of traveling abroad without advice. Now, we have discussed something that has to do with this issue of spine surgery. Listen to this. If you recall, in our last week meeting, we talked about issue that has to do with the spine. And we talked that a person may have severe back pain getting to the waist and sometimes can go down to the leg because of the issue of spinal spondylosis. I think we talked about that. You can get that very video if you miss it. Then you have a good, you have the normal disc here. If you followed us last time, you will give you the detail. And all those abnormalities which we talked about, spinal spondylosis. You remember where I interpreted the grammar. When it has to do with this, listen to this. If there be any problem in this spine, you will do what is called spinal decompression and stabilization surgery. Look at it. You get this particular area that is now thin, you open it as it ought to be, but to be able to get it right, you have to put a titanium implant this way to enable it not to allow this very bone to collapse again. You know what? When you get this very procedure done, excellently done, it can be done right here in Nigeria. But somebody will just, no, I want to go and do the spine surgery abroad. Listen to this. If you are to do this abroad, fine and good, but spend some time, don't rush home. Because most of our people may not have, having spent all the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars abroad, they may not have the money to stay back for a while. They will rush back home. And unfortunately, we now sit inside an economy ticket that will freeze the person for such several hours. Sometimes you can get, some people can sit at the airport for almost a whole day. And this will put a strain on what has been just done a couple of days ago. So it is not advantageous of you flying out of the country because you want to do a spine surgery, which in a number of established centers now in Nigeria, that can be done excellently well. And I will shock you today to see the danger of flying out of the country where you don't have a knowledge of anything to go and do operation. You know what? In majority of the cases, our people are never operated by the best hand in that institution. I will give you that shocking revelation as I'll be right back.
I cannot believe it that this is the same me that came here with not having the hope of being on my feet again, that I can walk again like a normal human being. People who knew me before could not believe it when they saw me. They were asking me, where did this happen? They thought I traveled out of the country. I told them that this place I went to is even better than those places they go to outside the country.
It didn't look like a hospital one bit. It looked like a 7-star hotel. And even people, I got surprised when I see people coming from London to do surgery in the hospital. The people are wonderful.
I want to thank Doctors Save a Life Foundation for this wonderful work. To God and to God only be the glory.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye, now on TVC News every Sunday by 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health. And today we are discussing something to save our people when it has to do with traveling abroad for medical treatment. Now, we've been able to establish that of the heart, and we have been able to talk about spine. And now, let me just put it to you. You know, we all have money to spend. I know I have my money. But can you pause and listen to me? Just what I'm telling you now is going to put a lot of money in your pocket. When it has to do with flight tickets, the stress and all those stress over there, because you want to get a treatment of prostate, you want to get a treatment of hemorrhoid, you want to get a treatment of anal fistula, you want to get a treatment of kidney stone. My friend, can I tell you? I saw a young man, 2012 precisely, on an IVF center, coming to India under anybody advising him, came to a place and it was a IVF center. He's coming for kidney stone related issue. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to spend that money with the say, take somebody here and all the houses. Today, excellently in this country, issue that has to do with prostate related thing is no longer more than 24 to 48 hours hospital stay. The issue that has to do with kidney stone, lesser technology has come to deal with it as a day case, to deal with the issue of hemorrhoid, otherwise what you call pile, and all those anorectal fistula. They are all a day procedure today in this country, not abroad. But we have people that we say, no, everything, travel abroad. And I will tell you something. I know somebody must be asking me, what about kidney transplant? Should I tell you? We can get it done in this country. It's a function of facility and expertise. Most of those things can be done. But I had a dream. Somebody was asking me, I don't know whether you're also the one, asking me, Dr. K, what about kidney transplant? And in that very dream, I saw you and Senator Kweremade sharing one apartment. I don't know who that very person is. But hear this, if you are thinking of kidney transplant, let me tell you, outside the country today, there are a lot of issues right there which has to do with doing the right thing. But you know, most times it seems as if that it's only in Nigeria that you do things anyhow. But you know what? You can have your kidney transplant successfully done also here in Nigeria, following a right channel that is legally binding when you have to be professionally advised. Because if you check out the experience of a Ekweremadu vis-a-vis what is obtainable here, it's same. Nigeria also has a law that governs transplant, which is well established in Nigerian Health Act 2014, signed by President Goodluck Jonathan. If you read section 51 down to section 58, you will get to see everything that has to do with professional and legally binding transplant process here in the country. But why striking emphasis was made in section 53 and section 55, which pointed that issue of informed consent, and also that kidney transplant related issue or donation is not transactional. These are some of the things that when you have to do such, the legal department of the hospital in question should be able to guide you professionally, irrespective of who is the person making the donation, the relative or a willing donor. This should follow the law. Otherwise, the experience of Senator Ekweremadu can happen in UK and can possibly also happen in Nigeria along with this particular act. That's why it is important when it has to do with you traveling abroad for medical treatment, please seek for professional advice here. Let somebody guide you. This particular topic is a topic you should keep and even inform others. And that's why we created this very number on WhatsApp. In case you need this very tape or all the teaching related to your problem you may have missed, just type on WhatsApp the problem, fibroid related or issue of prostate or issue of kidney stone or issue of spine, and send it. Instantly you will receive a relevant teaching with respect to that particular condition. We have been able to get this thing done because this is a very critical time where we will save the life of our people. Finally, are you planning to travel abroad for any form of surgery? Please, I want you to hold on. When I come back, I will be able to show you why in America today, 30% of deaths that happen in American hospital is considered iatrogenic by reason of the process of either surgery or something. Who are the victims? I will tell you more of that when I return.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
I want to especially thank God for making me to have a successful kidney transplant. Kidney issue is not a small thing. So many problems on me, doing as if an ant is in me. My leg, I can't walk well. My feet swell up. My chest, I will be feeling so much pain. Sometimes I won't be able to breathe well. My lungs everywhere was blocked unless I go for dialysis, if I can get myself. But now, I can live again. I can even dance. I can even do so many things. I want to especially thank Dr. Richard Okoye. My encounter with him was marvelous. He's the one who gave me hope that anyone who have kidney issue, there is not the last hope of the person. He told me that, Okereke Emmanuel, nothing will happen to you. And if you can see me today, I'm shining and smiling because the hope he gave me, he really fulfilled his promise on me. My message I have for those who have kidney issues is that all hope is never lost. There is no need traveling abroad. Everything you're looking for in abroad is here with us in Nigeria. After the transplant, I'm able to get myself back again. I'm alive and healthy, moving around, interacting with people and my friends. If you know anything that will damage your kidney, you should run away from them. Not everybody can be as lucky as I am. I want to especially thank Doctors Save Your Life Foundation for their support.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye, now on TVC News every Sunday by 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back. For the want of our time, let me drop the bombshell. For those of you that want to travel abroad for surgical intervention, should I tell you, you may not get the best hand of any nation or any hospital to operate on you when you travel from one country to another country. What do I mean by that? Most of the complications you have when it has to do with medical intervention, surgeries and other, happen more on those that are coming from elsewhere, much more than those that are living in that city. Why does it usually happen? It happens in the sense that in medical training, it is expected that a person who is established, who is an expert, has to train other young doctors in order to enable those doctors also come up. It is allowed anywhere in the world. Without teaching hospital, we can't have a succession. So it is something ideal. Nevertheless, when a hospital in Europe and America operating, or even in India, they're operating within the confinement and the view of the medical legal implication on when something goes wrong in that patient. But a person that is coming from outside does not have such protection. That is to say, this very person that is coming from outside can be used. Not necessarily they want to butcher the person, but somebody that is of a lower class can be advised to come and try his hand while maybe the senior one may be observing. During that transition, one or two things can happen. That's why when you are traveling out of the country, do not always think you are getting the best from that country. It's not possible. Because there is a provision for that. And of course, in law, Madam Law is like this: preponderance of evidence and balance of probability. So if you are not within the confinement of the law, to benefit within that very law, that law may not be in position to cover you. So that is one of the key things, that if you are traveling, always consult your doctor. And that also brings us to the topic of why you should not travel to Europe, America, India to say you are going for fibroid surgery. I tell you, you will never get the best. This and many more I will tell you when I come back.